And I want to make sure you can hear me. Hey guys, it's April Whitlock. I am the CEO and Ambassador #1 with Fundanoodle, and I wanted to welcome you tonight and thank you so much for joining us for our Ambassador call, where we're going to give you the overview of our Fundanoodle Ambassador program and talk about the exciting opportunity to be a founding ambassador that is going to disappear very, very soon in February. So I just want to go ahead and get started. We will, if you want to write down questions that you have, we will, if we have time at the end, go to a Q&A mode and let you ask some questions. And if not, I'm free always afterwards, or if an ambassador asks you to sign up, you can always reach out to them with your questions. But the cool part about this one is for the last year, every time we've done one of these calls, it's mostly been me and me talking and me kind of explaining. So I'm really excited that I have video to be able to share with you from some of our rock star ambassadors that have joined us this year and have really found the passion that I have for using these products for little learners. So thanks so much again for joining us, and we'll get started. So the presentation is so big that I couldn't load it to the system, so I have to kind of just start from here. But this is Max and Alfie, our two ambassadors of education, if you will. Max is our monkey, and he's one of our favorites because he is our child in this scenario. And Max's voice, if you have a teacher that downloads our Smartboard pages from Smart Exchange, or you download our app, you'll hear Max's voice as the child giving the instruction in our writing situations. And Alfie is his trainer and is the adult and the encourager. The most important thing, though, about what we're doing with Fundanoodle is we are focused on making learning fun again. And a huge shout out and thank you to Deirdre, one of our ambassadors, who's a homeschool mom, who put that presentation together for us to show the enthusiasm that she and her little learners have about our product. I think my favorite part of that is when they're using the muscle movers and they're blowing like a puffer fish. But that's what Fundanoodle is all about. We are hands-on learning that's fun for little learners. Our products focus on children between the ages of 2.5 to 6. When they're primed, when their brains are primed and ready to focus on fine motor skill development, visual perception, and laying the foundational building blocks, not only in their brain, but with their body, to be lifelong confident learners. All of our products take a kinetic approach to learning. We want to make sure that we are building up the strength of the hand, the strength of the fingers, the wrist, the arms, the core body, everything that a child needs physically, so that they can sit at a desk and they can do all the motor skill manipulatives that they need to do to be successful. We feel like as a culture, we have developed a vacuum, if you will, of hands-on learning products, and we are so tech focused in so many ways that we are developing a generation of children that are not fully realizing the use of their hands and of their motor skills. And what that's going to look like from a long-term impact is still yet to be determined. So our mission here is to give parents and children, and parents and teachers and any kind of caregivers the tools that they need to help children, but also to just make it fun. Our product, we are not new to the space. We may be very new to you, and we are definitely very new, only less than a year in to the direct sell world. But Fundanoodle has been in the marketplace in some iteration for the last 4.5 years. So we are proven in the classroom. Currently, we have some of our products in all of the pre-K classrooms here in Charlotte-Mecklenburg, one of the country's largest school districts where we live. We also have product in all of the pre-K classes down in Georgia in Cobb County. And that focus is continuing to grow for us. But what we realized is the skills that we focus on, that hands-on learning piece, really needs to happen in the preschool and the pre-K environment, not so much in the kindergarten and public school environment. You're kind of late if you're just getting to it there. So what we wanted to do when we thought about building the ambassador program is how do we get in front of those teachers who see daily firsthand the need for giving parents tools to help them. We're also proven at home. The product not only is great, as you saw with Deirdre's, for a homeschool mom, but it's just a fun activity. We had one of our biggest holiday seasons ever in the history of our company this past Christmas season, and there were lots and lots of I Can Pound kits coming down the chimney with Santa, and I couldn't be more thrilled, especially to see the pictures that were posted on our Instagram and Facebook afterwards. So not only are we proven from a developmental standpoint, and it's a proven education product, but it's something your kids are going to want to play with. And it's something that grandmothers and aunts especially want to buy for their little learners because it's not electronic. There's no battery, and it goes back to the basics of interactive learning and kinetic learning. So we're also proven in a pilot. As you may know, we were a retail product until we piloted our ambassador program 1.5 years ago, and I want one of our pilot ambassadors, Libby Bloomberg, to tell you a little bit about that. Whoops, that didn't work. Sorry, guys. A little bit of a so I can find her thing. Here we go. She was too far up. Sorry about that.
Hi, my name is Libby Bloomberg, and I'm in Constitution, Florida. And I am one of two pilot program ambassadors on the program. I started in April in the pilot program in February 2015, where we researched products, we figured out the best way to sell them, we just basically couldn't help people figure out where we see to go. And I guess we did a good job because she's rocking and rolling all across the country. I have a lot of people, and I adore them. Never thought of being in a direct sale company. But when I learned about Fundanoodle, I just had to see what it was about. And I enjoyed the pilot program so much, and I wanted to see what else might happen and what else, how far this could go. And what is so cool is that I'm friends with the CEO of this company. I'm friends with April now. And, 5, 10 years down the road, when Fundanoodle is huge. And that's one of the most famous education programs in the entire world. I had to say, I'm friends with the CEO. And I'm not friendly. And it was obvious. April enjoys my sense of humor. She enjoys the way that I can ask them questions sometimes, and I never feel like I can't ask one question. So I'm waiting for the phone now and having a good time. Hope you all will consider it. Thanks.
Thanks, Libby. Yeah, like Libby said, she was part of our pilot program that we launched in 2015. It was successful, and we, after testing lots of different models, we launched the True Ambassador program almost 1 year ago today. Very close. We're getting very close to that 1 year anniversary. Our goal this first year was not to explode on the scene and sign up thousands of ambassadors. We know we're a unique product, and we know we're very niche in the direct sell space. So our goal for the first year was, number one, just to prove that the model worked, that the ambassador program was the right way to get our products into the hands of the people that really need them, the moms, the homeschool families, the caregivers, the teachers. And then the other thing we wanted to prove in this first year is we wanted to find our leaders. We wanted to find people, quite honestly, personally, I wanted to find people who are as passionate about little early education and about what this product could do as I was. And as I tell my ambassadors every Monday night when we have our national sales call, it's so amazing to be able now to go to bed at night knowing that I'm not the only person in the world who is thinking about all the good things that Fundanoodle could do if we could just get it in everyone's hands. So as you can see, we are growing, but we still have tons and tons and tons of opportunity, because with any direct sell company, we are very super small in where we are. So that's why joining us now and being considered one of the founders is such a long-term high growth opportunity, because we are only growing up from here. And as more people find out about us, you can kind of see where the concentration grows. Obviously here in North Carolina, South Carolina area, but we've had a great teams forming in Ohio and in Iowa. And as they form and they do more and more people hear about it, we continue to grow. But as I tell everyone, even if there's already an ambassador in your city, even if there's already one in your state, the market is unlimited at this point, because you can sell across geographies, you can sell virtually. And as you can see, there's lots and lots of space in the middle of the country where we don't have representation yet. So we've grown a lot. I'm thrilled with what we've done, but we definitely have room for lots more people to join us and enjoy this opportunity. The ambassadors who are joining us are coming from very different backgrounds. You do not have to have an education background to be successful. You don't have to even be a mom. We have some folks who aren't moms who are part of this program. You really just have to have a passion for helping parents find tools that will help their kids, or for just helping kids learn and achieve. We have folks like Kara, who is a highly respected, influential occupational therapist who travels the world actually speaking about autism and autism awareness, who is an ambassador. We have stay-at-home moms who are homeschooling their children. We have full-time working moms, some who have direct sell experience, some who've never done it before until they found us, who are found our product either because they were looking for some resource for their child, or they were just looking for a new opportunity that they can get passionate about. But that's one of the beautiful things about ground floor founding level, is you have the ability to reach out to all of these people. So if you're not an OT, you know that you have OTs in the network that you can reach out to who will be thrilled to help you understand some of the core basics behind the product development. And then you have me. I can't say enough about what this product means to me, and what this point in our history as a company means to me. I personally kind of look back over my entire career, and I think that everything I've done has built up to where I can help you be successful in launching a business with Fundanoodle. I am a entrepreneur at heart. I was one of the first 30 employees at LendingTree. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, it's tree.com now. So I learned early on in my career after I'm a Duke grad, and after spending time in Chicago working for Gray Advertising, and then coming back to Charlotte and doing LendingTree, that I wanted to do startup. I enjoyed being part of creating a company and creating a brand and creating a mission. So I joined Momcore in their very early days and launched the Charlotte market of that company. And then I joined Carolina Pad because my family, we got to a point where I needed to stop doing startup and do a little more corporate. And when I was at Carolina Pad, I was lucky enough to be involved in the beginning of Fundanoodle. Carolina Pad is a company here in Charlotte that makes school and office supplies, and they're credited in the school and office supply space for being the leaders of making things pretty. Now, it's hard to imagine, but 15, 16, 17 years ago, there were no pretty school supplies. They were all solid colors. And Carolina Pad was the first person to put design on the product. So when we were approached by two local pediatric occupational therapists about some of their ideas they had for creating an early education product, we were very intrigued. Fast forward a couple of years, the company missed the mark on when retail was excited about having education. And as you can imagine now, if you look in any of the retail shelves, there's very little education that's not crazy licensed or and just not a lot of thought behind it. And we started seeing the product getting a lot of use individually at home and within schools. And so what we realized as a company that even though we designed it for retail, it really lived in a different world. And I was lucky enough to be able to buy the company from Carolina Pad to figure out where. So my first thing that I did was decided that we didn't live at retail and it was time to pull us out of retail. We pulled out of Toys R Us, we pulled out of some major retailers so that we could focus on distributing to schools and then testing the ambassador program. Because 4 years ago, I told my colleagues that I knew this was a home party model. And I use the word home party loosely. I knew it was a model that you as a mom or you as an ambassador needed to be face to face with the person that you wanted to sell this product to. You needed to give her the opportunity to let her child try it out. You needed to have it out of the box and laying out so that parents could immediately see how engaging it was for their children to try. So that's kind of where the concept of launching as an ambassador program came. Now, hold on one second. It looks like my screen sharing has stopped. We might be having a little bit of technical difficulties. Now, I've heard from some of you that the video quality may not be coming through very well. So I'm going to keep trying it, but then we will post all of these videos on YouTube afterwards so you can watch them as well. And I'm going to go ahead and stop it because I keep hearing from everyone on, again, the supportive team that we have, that the videos are just not coming through well. So I will go back to it just being me talking about what we have to offer for you guys. And I apologize to all of my ambassadors who work so hard to put videos together for us, but we will put those out and have those out on YouTube and email them out to a link to everyone who was registered as well. But with the ambassador program, you have the opportunity to develop your business in a way that best fits your skills. So this is an overview. It's kind of small to read, I'm sure on the screen, but it's available in a PDF form on our website and kind of goes over the compensation plan. When you join the company, you join as a junior ambassador, and you immediately from day one have the ability to start selling the product and earning 20% commissions on everything that you sell. Once you have a personal volume up to $1,500, then you make your jump to ambassador and a 25% commission level. And you do not go backwards from there. There's no demotions from that standpoint. Some people make that $1,500 in their very first month. Some people, it takes a little bit longer. It's totally up to you. There's no monthly minimum in what we're doing. We wanted to design a program that, and as you'll see as we kind of go through, that worked with your lifestyle and with how you wanted to build a business. When you, at any point, you can start building a team. We have some ambassadors that have built some very strong teams already, and we have others that have no desire to do that, and that's totally fine. But once you start building a team, in order to be rewarded with bonuses on your team's performance, you'll jump up to the senior ambassador level, and you do need to maintain $500 a month in personal volume, as well as a group volume, a group sales volume, in order to get that downline bonus. Now we have, once you join us, or even before you join us, we have a extensive archive of training calls that we do, as well as our weekly ambassador sales calls. So we are planning, you can go in through and look at those, and there's several calls that go into a lot more detail with the compensation plan, but just wanted to give you an overview of it. We also offer a fast start program. One of the things that we focus on with a lot of our incentives are giving our ambassadors product credits, because one of the things we know firsthand is when you have the product in your possession, whether you're doing a holiday cash and carry event, or whether you just have a mom that you met in a waiting room whose child is really struggling with handwriting, it's really beneficial to be able to hand it over to them and have them start using it immediately. So we reward a lot with product credits so that you're able to purchase inventory or business supply, or even gift certificates that you can use for incentive for your hostesses, that you can order those for free and then really realize all the revenue off of it when you sell the product. So part of our Fast Start program is over a 3-month period. It's rewarding a $50 product credit when you submit $500 in retail sales. Now, a couple things about this program. If you're on the call today and you decide you want to join tomorrow, your Fast Start program starts immediately, but you have the entire month of February to get that first $500 in sales. So if you're joining in the middle of a month or even at the beginning of a month, it's kind of the Fast Start doesn't kick in into the month after you join. So it gives you some time to build up your sales. If you don't make it in month 1, but you make it in month 2, you still get the $50 bonus. So you can earn all 3, or you can earn just a couple of them. And then from an extra bonus is everyone that you sign up under you during that first 3-month period, if they go on and earn the title of ambassador during their Fast Start time frame, you'll get an additional $50 bonus. So these show up in your virtual office, and they're super easy to use, and they never expire. Our starter kits. We have 2 different starter kits, and they range, one is from $115 to $175. But if you're on the call and you know about our incentives, and we'll show those at the end, these are discounted between now and February 5th to really encourage you to take advantage of joining our as a founding ambassador. So the starter kit, the senior starter kit, has pretty much everything you need. It's one of every product with catalogs and order forms. The junior ambassador starter kit is a sampling of all the products. And we've had people be very successful with either one. It's totally up to you. And when you go through the process of ordering your kit, you'll see that you can do some add-ons as well. If you choose not to do those add-ons during the enrollment process, that is totally fine. But the good news is that they're great product sets that are very well discounted. So they are available for you to purchase in your business supply once you join us up until your 6-month anniversary. So when you're going through that, just know that even if you don't buy those add-ons on day 1, you can still buy those and get that great discount up until 6 months after you join. Our products, are divided into 3 levels. Our first level is preschool, and it's focused on 2.5 to 4-year-olds. And you'll notice that everything there is orange. Everything in this line, we're not focusing on handwriting yet. What we're doing here is we're preparing those hands to learn, and we're making sure that we're starting early with developing motor skills. So you'll see things like our amazing safety scissors, which you got to see Heidi's demo of that when we can put the YouTube videos out there for you to see. But what's my favorite thing to do at any vendor show is just to stand there pretending, to cut my hair and to show that our scissors won't cut hair or clothes or skin, but they are rock stars with paper. Everything you see here in this preschool line is designed to start developing the foundation for little learners and really work on those motor skills. Then we move into level 2. You'll see everything in level 2 is blue. And in general, level 2 is our 4 and 5-year-olds in our pre-KK. This is where we start introducing more foundation, a little bit more structure around our math and activity books, but we really start focusing on letter and number formation. And you'll see through our methodology is we aren't about tracing letters and rote practicing. We're about kinetic learning. So you're pounding out letters, you're building them with magnets, you're using the muscle mover cards and shaping Play-Doh or wiki sticks and making fun sounds like blowing like a pufferfish or galloping like a unicorn. We're doing all types of learning so that wherever your child fits in the learning continuum, if they're an auditory learner, a kinetic learner, if they're a visual learner, you're going to find something that appeals to them. And even when you're talking to parents who tell you, well, my child is so advanced and they already know all their letters, that's awesome. But I would be willing to bet that even though they may know all of their letters, they are still struggling with handwriting. With proper formation, they're struggling with holding the pencil correctly, and they're struggling with hand fatigue, because that has just become extremely common among all preschool and pre-K children, just because we have this culture of convenience and this incredibly increased use of technology in our environment. So you always have something to kind of combat. And the good news is that these products all work individually. They work together very well, but someone can start in the blue. They don't have to start at the orange, or they can pick one thing and then the other, or they can decide that even if their child's 4 years old, they want to move on to the green level. And here in the green level, our level 3, we kind of say K1 and 5, 6 here because we're moving into lowercase. And the biggest differentiation here is that we want a child to master their uppercase letters before they move into lowercase, because they are harder and it does require a stronger grip and a more developed fine motor skills. So what you'll see throughout all of these products is we work with occupational therapists and we work with elementary educators, and we try to take the best of all of those areas and bring them together. So that's why you do see here in the purple, we have one product that's for children over age 6 that goes into that 2nd grade and up with our cursive book. But that's right now really the only plans we have of moving outside of our area. Our wheelhouse is preschool, pre-K, kindergarten, and maybe 1st grade, depending on, where your child is. Because we want to make sure everything we design and every product that we put together does continue to combine the best of the pediatric occupational therapy world and the early elementary education world. And unfortunately, this is Emily. She is one of our ambassadors, and it's talking here kind of one of the themes that we've heard in a lot of our videos about how many of our ambassadors never ever expected to see themselves as part of a direct sell company for one reason or the other. Maybe they never found anything that they were passionate about, or or that really spoke to them. But what you'll hear when you're able to watch these videos, once we get them on YouTube, and unfortunately they're not working well with this embedded in the presentation, is you'll find that what all our ambassadors are finding is we are a direct sell company like no other. Sure, you have to work at it. You have to do the work to get the reward. And yes, you are, responsible for finding your customers and building your network. But what we say all the time is this is sharing, not selling. You're sharing a product. You're sharing testimonials. You're sharing success stories. You're sharing years of classroom use to help a parent. And that's not selling. That's helping, and that's mission driven. And that's why we are so successful, whether you have a sales background or not. Now, a couple of the ways that you can share our product. Our signature event is called our play date, and you can do a play date. They are more fun, more chaotic, and much more successful when the child is in the room. One of the big things we learned throughout the pilot program that we knew intuitively when we were not as successful at retail is you have to touch and feel to understand. You have to touch and feel the workbooks to see how well they're made. You have to touch and feel the pounding kit to understand why the hammer is weighted. You have to touch and feel the magnets to see how strong they are and how they really do help a little learner's hand grow. And so the best way to do that is to host a play day. Have your moms bring their kids over, have the product out, have kids engage with it. You are able to tell the mom the benefits and of what's happening with their child. The mom sees how well the child engages, how independently they can learn, and boom, you make a sale. And that's the high level of it. Now, every play date, it's funny, as we talk about, is we have a recommended schedule and ideas that you can follow, but everybody's play dates are different. Some play dates might actually be real play dates where you were just hosting your friends and the product came out because your kids love it. Some play dates are in libraries. Some play dates are outside. We had one this summer that was a water play date. It's totally up to you how you want to structure this, but we do encourage you to create events that allow a parent and their child to come together so that they can engage in the product. Now, of course, you can do it without kids. You can do sip and sees or coffees and conversations. Those are things that those are great ways to launch your business. Once you decide to join us and you want to launch and like introduce yourself to moms first, is hosting a coffee and conversations after preschool drop off, or doing an evening sip and see where you can talk to the moms about what you're doing, and especially if it's your close network of moms, and then really let them be your launching pad for scheduling your play dates. When we do any of our events, our play dates, we do have our Hostess Rewards program, and our hostesses can start earning rewards at $100 in sales and up. So they earn two different sets of rewards. They can earn half price products, and then they can also earn a percentage of sales in free products. So this can build up quickly. And then, of course, if a hostess, if during her event you schedule bookings and those bookings turn into actual play dates within the first 60 days of the hostess's party, they get additional rewards. And all of this is system driven by our backend system. You don't have to remember any of this or plug any numbers in. The system remembers everything. So so we have this information out. We have all kinds of marketing flyers and ways that you can share this with people and promote this with people when you are encouraging your hostesses to do a play date with you. But what sets us apart, I think, is beyond the signature home party event, which is the play date, is the way that you can grow your business by developing relationships with schools. I was on the phone the other day with the potential ambassador, and I told her that it's a double-edged sword. I think, I've heard my whole life that your biggest advantage can be your biggest weakness. And I think one of our biggest advantages is that our product works in so many places with so many different types of kids. But the disadvantage of that is it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming as an ambassador to think, oh my gosh, what do I do first? Do I do a play date? Do I go talk to a school? Do I do this? So what we try to do is talk you through, and we're actually designing a new training portal that'll help you with that, but let you evaluate what are your skills. Are you more a social butterfly? Do you like having the parties? So you go that play date model to start. Do you have an education background and you enjoy talking to teachers, or you have a true sales background and you like cold calling with schools, then maybe school events are a way for you to go. And what we mean by school events is using the same model as the play date and even the same reward system. You can go into a school and host what we call a learning fair. And if you're familiar with a Scholastic's book fair, it's very similar. It's an online event where teachers help you promote what you're doing, what you're selling. Teachers can set up wish lists and give them to the parents of what they want the parents to buy for them for the classroom. And the parents purchase the product online, it's shipped directly to the parents, and then the school gets the benefit. They get those same hostess benefits by doing the learning fair. A lot of people who host these learning fairs with schools, they might kick it off with some type of lunch and learn or parent seminar. Here in Charlotte, as we're 18 months or more into our business development, we've now reached a point where schools are contacting us. They call me and ask if I have somebody that can come in and talk to their parents and be that school's third-party advocate to explain why they're not using iPads in the TK class, or to explain why it's so important for their child to master the cutting skill before they go to kindergarten. And so in a lot of situations, we come in and do a conversation and introduce the product to the parents and kind of kick off that learning fair. Or we go in and do demonstrations for teachers at the preschools or for OTs. I was supposed to travel last week to meet with all of the OTs in a county before a little mini snowstorm that we have. So we constantly, if you choose to develop your business that way, and especially if you're coming to us with an education background or an occupational therapy background, you can grow your business from with these schools or daycares, as well as with individuals. The other component that we just launched in 2016 is a fundraiser component. So slightly different than the learning fair, where the learning fair, the school or the daycare that you're working with, they're earning free products. We actually do have a true fundraising program now. So any nonprofit that you work with that might sell things like candles or cookies or gift wrap, and they're totally over that, and they're looking for something else to sell that's different, you can go to them with our fundraising opportunity. We have the order forms, everything. We highlight 10 of our top selling products to keep it very simple. And the schools or the nonprofits earn straight cash. So those are other opportunities for you to grow your business with Fundanoodle. And then, of course, we have vendor events. And it's not just the typical consumer vendor event, which we had ambassadors doing tons of those all through the holiday season. We also do education events. You will find, of course, there's state conferences and regional conferences, but you will find, as all of our ambassadors have found, and hopefully it looks like my screen sharing just stopped again. You will find, as all of our ambassadors have found, that there are all kinds of local teacher training. We just got a call the other day from a school in a neighboring county that hosts a teacher training for preschool teachers every year, and they have 200 teachers come to this conference, and they want us to be there with the booth. So one of the reasons that I've always believed the ambassador program was meant to be and was meant to give you the opportunity to sell at the ground floor is because there are all of these local grassroots homegrown opportunities that larger companies miss, large education companies miss, because a large education company like a Lakeshore Learning is not going to go to that conference with 200 teachers. But that is a huge opportunity for you as an ambassador. So those are the kind of things that if you choose, if you like to talk to people, if you love kind of that presentation and interacting with people and talking all day long, then maybe you're going to want to grow your business with vendor events. And we do those with things like holiday and consumer shows, education, and then there's family events where we get asked to go in. We are doing an event here in Charlotte for Valentine's Day with a nonprofit that focused on art education. And so we're setting up a table where we're bringing our pounding kit, and we're bringing copies of our heart pounding page, and and our cutting scissors, and we are gonna help kids pound out those hearts and cut out those hearts and make Valentines for their parents. So we won't be selling anything there, but we'll be generating a lot of community support and community recognition and the ambassadors will be working that event will be able to build up lots of contacts. So there's lots of ways. It really depends on what you want to do. And again, I stress every Monday night with my ambassadors, don't get overwhelmed with the opportunity. Be excited about it and pick one to start. Pick the one that you want to focus on first and go there, knowing that there's all these other ones to fall back on as you grow your business. You can also grow your business online. Now, in general, I'm not a huge fan of this, especially for kind of when you're first getting started, because again, I believe with my experience that touching and feeling the product supersedes anything else. But if you have really great videos, like some of our ambassadors are really putting together, and you already have a following on social media, many of our ambassadors are rock star bloggers who have a great following already, you can definitely grow your business online. You can do play dates and launch parties online. You can start your Facebook pages, either your business pages or your groups. We have many ambassadors who have started pages that are just focused on giving parents ideas to help beyond the Fundanoodle products. So it does work on the social media level too as well. And you can also build a business around your skills. So many of you might come to us and say, I don't want to build a team and I'm going to use this in my business. And we are set up that way. If you are you already have a tutoring business, for example, or you're an occupational therapist, or anyone with an LLC, you can be an ambassador using your LLC and then be able to add a revenue stream to your existing business by selling our products. We have folks who are tutors who have now created or are doing summer camps and after school programs that they've designed using our products. So don't get caught up in the direct sell piece if that feels uncomfortable for you, especially if you are a current tutor or educator or occupational therapist who has your own business and are looking for a way to add to that income stream. And this is Jessica out of Indiana, and she's talking about in this video about how she just found us on Google search and what a great fit it is for her because she's a former educator and now a director of a preschool. And of course has her own children. And so she's able to do something and build a business now of something that she's around every single day and she's passionate about. And I'm sorry, we can't show you her video. Training and support. Again, we are new in the whole grand scheme of things, but we are, I feel very honored. I've had many of our ambassadors tell us that we're doing a great job of disseminating information and training and getting people up to speed. We do weekly calls every Monday. We do tips and tricks on them. We go over all of the incentives. If I see a series of questions keep coming up, we go over that again. There's always the replay of that call as well as the agenda, and all of the links that we reference are in that agenda. And then we've started doing some fun things on those calls. Like we now have a monthly Fundanoodle book club where one of our ambassadors will read an industry related book and kind of give a synopsis on it for the group to kind of help us all grow together. We have our videos online. You can go check those out now. We have all kinds of videos that show the product in use. And there's also a hidden playlist there that whichever ambassador invited you to join us tonight, they can give you the link where you can go and see, some of set in on some of the webinars that we've done or see some of our training calls. The other thing that we do that I just can't, stress enough is we do a lot of sharing. We have ambassadors that have very strong skill sets, and so they're able and willing to share. And so not only do they share in this closed Facebook group, I mean, there were some things today that just blew me away. People get an idea, they make a new collateral piece or a new sales piece, and then they share it with everyone. But we also have ambassadors that have raised their hand and said, hey, I'm really good at web development. And so let me do a webinar to show people how the best practices for updating their personalized web page. And so again, it's really beyond the opportunity to be ground floor, it's really empowering to be part of a group of women who are unbelievably supportive of each other and completely there to lift each other up and to help each other along the way. We have lots of stuff online. in our virtual office, but we are working really hard to get all that reorganized and with our new training portal and make it easier for people to find the years and years of information that we have. We do encourage, we do try right now to encourage everyone to join on an existing ambassador team so it can just help you grow and have leadership. But regardless of whether you join under corporate or you join right now or under an existing ambassador, you do always have direct access to me. And the coolest thing about the last year is I have learned more, I think, from my ambassadors than I could even begin to teach them about this. And that's been great. As you've heard the theme, I'm kind of transparent and a total open book. I've never sold direct sales. I'm a very big customer and I have lots of consultants who love me, but I've never done it. And so I appreciate my ambassadors who have joined us, who have years of direct sales experience and have been able to help me as well. The only really ongoing commitment that is required of you, we do not have a monthly sales minimum, is to maintain your virtual office and your personal site. Because I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that this tool is the most important thing for your success. Because whether you are into social media or not, your customers probably will be, or whether whatever, you need to have an online presence. And we give that to you in a customized version for just $15 a month, as well as a very robust virtual back office for all of your order processing, for all of your reporting, to be able to track your commissions, to be able to, it's a contact database. There's just, a wealth of information. Your first month is free, and that kind of goes back like the fast start bonus. If you decide to join us tomorrow after this call, you will not pay for your website until March 1st. So you kind of get the whole month of January and month of February. When you sign up to be an ambassador, as soon as you hit submit, you get an email with your password and the login. So from the minute you sign up, while you're waiting for your enrollment kit to arrive, you can start working on customizing your page, and you can start sharing it with people and start showing them what you're doing. And I'm always shocked with the number of ambassadors who have sales coming through before they even get their kit in hand, because they're so excited about it and their friends are so excited about it. It just grows from there. But again, like I said, we made a policy change at the beginning of January, and we removed our minimum sales goal. And the only thing that requires to be active is to maintain this website fee. If you miss it 1 month, if there's an issue with a credit card or whatever, we don't automatically terminate you. You have 30 days to get that updated. If there's a second month where you're not adhering to this guideline, then you are automatically terminated. We do monthly product incentives. So lots of our ambassadors do a lot of their own incentives, a lot of their own things. But we also try every single month from a corporate level to offer an incentive that you can give to your customers. So for example, right now, we have an incentive going with our scissors. So for every $25 in product that a customer buys, they'll get 1 pair of our scissors for free. And I've heard from our ambassadors that this has been really helpful to generate some individual orders this month. And so we look and try to do that as much as possible throughout the process to make sure. And then we also, as you can see with our beautiful graphics, we have an amazing, Michelle Jones, an amazingly talented designer. And all of these graphics are given to you. Right now we use a free online software called Canva. So we push everything out through Canva so that you can customize this. But if you don't want to customize it, if you just want to it's available in JPEGs, and you can just upload them and use them, as well as tons of other marketing materials to help you with recruiting, with getting hostesses, with your play dates as well. And then we always do monthly ambassador incentives. And like I said, a lot of our incentives are tied to giving you product credits. for whether you're recruiting people or whether you're selling. And again, like I said, those never expire. So I've had ambassadors save those up for months to where they have hundreds of dollars and then buy a bunch of products that they have for cash and carry for a vendor show. So it works out well for everyone. And then I'm so excited about our first annual Fiesta that's coming up here in Charlotte on February 3rd through 5th. We have decided that it was very important, even though we are still very small, and it is going to be an amazing event and an intimate affair, that it was very important to celebrate our first year anniversary and to celebrate it not only with a party, but to celebrate it with putting the stake in the ground of what we want our national sales conferences to look like as we grow. So first weekend of February is our what we're going to call our Fiesta going forward. It's a 3-day event. The first day is focused on, and you can go to this link at your leisure and see the agenda. The first day is focused on the product, all the benefits and features that are tied to the product, as well as a panel of folks on how they use it. The second day is tied to the tools that you need to grow your business. How do you build up sticky referrals and your PR campaigns and your social media, as well as bringing some, because we are so new, and even though we have some rock stars, they're really only 6 months into this. So we're bringing in some industry experts or some other consultants who have been very successful in other industries to talk about what you need to do to work the business. And then the last day, Sunday, is just full of inspiration and creativity and team building, wanting you to leave inspired. So I'm very excited about that. And if you join us, and you can come the day of and you can register. And especially if you live within driving distance of Charlotte and want to come, we have some day rates as well. And you can reach out to me if you'd like to meet some people before you sign on and join up. So I'll leave you with these couple of things. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different direct sell companies out there. It was always amazing to me when I was going through the research process to see how many companies join. But I hear over and over again, there's no one like us. Everybody's jumping on whatever bandwagon is successful right now. Is it jewelry? Is it skincare? Is it makeup? Is it, essential oils? But what we do is niche, and it takes some understanding and it takes some work to develop your marketplace. But the cool part about it is, what other business can you do that's going to include your family? And I love these pictures from our Fundanoodle Ambassador page of my ambassadors and their own little learners, and how their little learners, Amanda, this was earlier today. I had to put this in, and she just got her kit and opened it up, and that's the joy on her own little learner's face. So when you see that firsthand, it's not selling, it's sharing. It's sharing that passion, and it's sharing that joy. When you have a child that might have some developmental delays, and you see firsthand as an ambassador what the product does for that child, that's not sharing. That's not selling. That's sharing your success story. That's sharing what's working for your little learner. And this is Tiffany, and she just joined us a few weeks ago and has already hit the ground running. But in this her clip, you'll be able to learn more about how she was searching. She has a 4-year-old who has some developmental delays, and she was searching the internet, always looking for tools to supplement what he's doing with his occupational therapy and his other services. And that's how she found us, just as our tools, and then realized with the opportunity that we have as ambassador that it was something that could not only help her son, but help her entire family. And that's truly what this product and this program can do. You can also build a business that's fun. I mean, how often can you think about that you can do a business where you get to play on a regular basis? You get to get on the floor with kids and have fun, and you get to share in Facebook posts like these where moms are really truly thrilled. I mean, this little boy, he was opening Christmas presents and he stopped because he wanted to cut. He was so proud that his mom trusted him enough and gave him his own pair of scissors that he can use whenever he wanted, that he just stopped and started cutting. So it's not it's work. It's definitely just like any business, there'll be ups and downs. But the cool part is that it's fun. Not only are you making learning fun, but you're making having income fun. But also you're building a business that makes a difference. And these are posts from our Facebook page of parents who have reached out to us who do have children that might be struggling in different learning environments, that have just found success with our tools. And there is nothing more rewarding to know that you have made a difference in the life, not only of that child, but of the parent, by helping the parent find something that can have an impact. And if that so happens to be your own personal story, then that is monumental in helping build your business, because your own passion will just be so apparent. And the selling part, that'll go away. It'll be just your passion about what you're doing and the sharing of that. And one of our most passionate leaders, Karen, we will have her video out there too as well, but her story talks about how she's always been an educator and had to get out of the education field to take care of aging parents who live all the way across the country, and was frustrated that she could not stay in the education space. And then she found us, and it has really changed everything about being able to be a part of a ground floor business, but also be a part of a business that can allow her to continue to be passionate about early education. So if you join us between now and February 5th, which is the cutoff date, you will be considered a founding ambassador. And you can join under a team member, or you can join under corporate. I highly encourage you to join under a team member, because joining under corporate means joining under me, and my bandwidth is slowly disintegrating. So you get a lot more from everybody else than you might get from me right now. But anybody who joins before February 5th ends will be considered a founding ambassador. Now, honestly, what does that mean? Well, it's going to be really cool, I feel like, in 5 years from now, when you walk around Fiesta and you're one of very few people with that red button on that says you're a founder. I really think down the road there could be, benefits to it and some type of incentives to it, and just cool bragging rights. We do have an enrollment program. It says January, but it will go until February 5th. If you order our senior enrollment kit, you'll get that at 25% off now. And our junior enrollment kit is 15% off. And you will see those discounts in your shopping cart. So you'll see that as you go through the enrollment process, and you'll see that there. To stop my screen sharing here, and I'm going to change the webinar options a little bit here and go to
All
Q&A
attendees
mode.
are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
So if you have a question that you would like to write, you can hit *6, or you should be, let's see, I think adding chat to your view. So if you would prefer to chat, to type in a question over here on the side, you can do that as well. And again, any questions open, and I'll just see if you guys have any. Again, I apologize about some of the technical difficulties with the videos. We will definitely make sure those are out. We will send this link out to everyone who attended, as well as everyone who registered, and it will be out as well on our YouTube channel with the corresponding videos. So I want to thank you so much again for joining us. I want to thank you guys again, so much for joining us today. Super excited about this opportunity for you. It amazes me daily when I see how our current ambassadors are coming up with great, fun, new ideas, and how they're sharing and how they're empowering each other. But more importantly, what really matters is that we're getting this out into people's hands so that they can make a difference with folks. And we do have one question here. That's a wonderful question. Thank you, Linda. We actually do, so a couple of our ambassadors are preschool teachers who they teach it, and actually several of our schools who use the product, they use the Handwriting Without Tears, but they also bring in certain components. So things like our cutting. If you just step away from the handwriting piece, a lot of our products, our scissors and our pounding board are designed to work on hand strength, hand-eye coordination, building up the palmar grip, working wrist control. So we have lots of schools that may use Handwriting Without Tears, but they bring in components like the pounding kit, or they bring in the scissors to help add that fine motor skill. We have lowercase letters, so we have a lot with our magnets. We have the lowercase letters, so we have a lot of schools that may use Handwriting Without Tears that bring in our lowercase magnets. But we honestly have a lot of schools that use Handwriting Without Tears that bring in our upper and lowercase, because the teachers want an alternative. They like the color coding. There'll be an adjustment to our magnets kits in February, and we have a letter guide. So it's more visual than the wooden shapes of Handwriting Without Tears. You're really working on visual perception and matching up those colors and building those letters. And then by having the magnets, they're super strong, so a child's really having to use their fingers to manipulate them. And then like the muscle mover cards, they are heavy laminate cards that are on one side there's the letter, so that a child can use a dry erase pen in practice, or we encourage when children are young giving them Play-Dohs and Wiki sticks to shape the letters. And then the flip side of the muscle mover card has a really colorful, cool, unique animal and OT based activity. So they may like gallop like a unicorn, or blow like a pufferfish, or freeze like an iguana. So those are completely standalone products, and they work well when you're just introducing letters overall. Schools that are still incredibly tied to the handwriting program, to the Handwriting Without Tears program, typically won't bring our books in, but all of our manipulatives, cutting, magnets, muscle mover cards, and pounding kit, they'll bring those in to enhance the motor skill piece. But thank you, great question. And just kind of take that another further, we don't really look at ourselves as a handwriting program. That's a component of what we offer, because we're all about foundational learning. We really look at us, we're an early education product. We're getting bodies ready to learn. And you're right, we are really a great start for younger kids. We're really, and what's happening, and what I'm hearing over and over again is, so much is getting pushed down to the 4 years and the 3-year classes, that, we're able to come in and provide tools that help, but that are developmentally appropriate and that kids really like to play with. Any other questions? Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you have any other questions, please let me know. And you can email me directly, or you can email through our website, and we'll get you to the right person, or just reach out to the ambassador that invited you to the call tonight. Thank you again for your time, and I hope you will be joining us as a founding ambassador. Have a great evening.